PJ, I don't know how you got some of these carts to last as long as you. So
that's my secret.
What I was going to ask, I had to ask, what is the secret?
A magician never
what is the secret?
You know, I can't reveal that.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sidetracked. I am Jayson, and today I have PJ and Katy with us to get a little behind the scenes on them. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the other videos we put out, and we've been asking at the end of the interviews who the driver would like to see next. So it was mentioned by Will Nonamaker when we were interviewing him that not only do I interview both of you guys, but we do both of you guys at the same time, and they are related. They are really great racers, so we wanted to get a little behind the scenes on Katy and PJ. So go ahead, introduce yourselves, and we'll run from there.
I'm PJ Penny. This is my daughter, Katy. Go ahead.
Oh, you're going to leave it up to me? I'm Katy. I'm his daughter, clearly. We've only been racing for like 2 years, so this is all new to us as well. But it's been a heck of a 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I know I have a lot of good memories racing both of them. I would classify myself as not a incredibly fast racer, but I'm a competitive racer. So like my times may not be the near top of the chart, but mid-pack I find a lot more fun. And I know PJ, you turned down really fast lap times last time we went out, which was insane. But typically, like me and Katy would be mid-pack in the qualifying, and then towards the position-based racing, good luck. I mean, she's wearing the shirt today, so James always gives the bully, and I'm like, she's a bull in a china shop. So you'll find a way through. But I mean,
Absolutely.
PJ, you're same competitive. So where does this all stem from, I guess?
We've always been competitive. I grew up, I was a ball player. I like competing. I like trying to show the younger crowd that us old guys still got it.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
There's a lot of fast racers here, so to finish in the middle of the pack is a good accomplishment for myself. But, I take that with pride. I'm old enough to beat a lot of these dads or grandparents.
Yeah.
A couple of young ones that'll be here later. When we come for a ride and drive, it just seems like I get a couple of good laps. So I want to come out here with the faster racers. So, keeps me young.
Yeah, and you can learn a lot from them.
I'm still 29.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just have anniversaries.
So I'm assuming, PJ, you're like a racing fan. You watch racing on TV and stuff. Has it always been in the family racing, or
No.
We literally just picked this up.
Really?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
I like going to the local track and watch sprint cars.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were ball players. So, Katy and I both were ball players. I played baseball most of my life. Katy was a softball player.
Yep.
But, Katy tells me, Dad, they're building a go-kart track, and it was like, oh, here we go.
Because we were always planning a trip up to high voltage, but it was just so far away with busy schedules. And I was like, Dad, they're building a K1 5 minutes away. Like, we just got to hold out till January, and we can start racing.
Yeah.
And then I was hooked.
Yeah.
I didn't see the sign. There is a sign.
It's on the front door.
It is on the door.
It may become addictive.
I did not see it. So
I fell into that too, though, where it's like the racing itself, and you go out and you bring a bunch of friends, you go out and you're racing your friends, you beat them up a little bit, you go after times, however your style of driving is when you first come here. But then if you're competitive, doesn't matter if, like I said, you're a ball player. So ball player, racer, I played all kinds of sports. I'm from a big family, so we're all very competitive. So if there's a chance to compete with something, I'm there doing it. So probably same with you guys, where you walk in the door and I'm like, okay, you do 40 races here, and you're like, all right, then what? So you guys, I started seeing you guys really show up for the endurance races. So
what was it, 85 laps?
85 was our first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
No pit stops.
No pit stop, 85 lap race.
Yes.
We thought we were so crazy when we signed up for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, we just did something so stupid. We signed up for an 85 lap race.
Yeah.
So how was that first race?
Not as bad as I would have anticipated.
I figured it was either going to make me or break me, and here I am. I'm still here.
competing in a 12-hour.
Yeah, so yeah, the 12-hour that's a beast of its own.
We went
but-
from 85 laps to 12 hours.
Yes.
I know. The evolution of that, though, came from, I mean, you guys had a big help in that. PJ, I don't know how you got some of these carts to last as long as you... So,
That's my secret.
what I was going to ask, I had to ask,
Yeah,
what
I
is the
can't-
secret?
A magician
can't-
never
what is the
reveals
You
secret?
know, I can't reveal that.
Because
you know,
even before
'cause-
battery telemetry,
Yes.
you were carrying carts that, so I could make it like 40
well,
laps.
there was. I did not finish one race. There was one race I didn't finish, and it was a half a lap.
Yeah, and I'm the polar opposite of you. There's like one race that I've actually finished back in the old school days of the endurance race. So, but yeah, so that's what I was going to ask is like, what is the secret then?
Well, I just try to stay out of contact. You know, you're wasting your battery. It was better to be the
Pushy.
push-E than the pusher.
I totally get that. Okay, so it helps carry the cart momentum a little bit more, and they're
I'm gonna
wasting
use
their
your energy.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, because typically you did stay way out of contact. Like you were very smooth. James has said it several times on the stream about how smooth you actually drive, and I've raced with you before. I cannot drive your line because it is so fast, but it's so smooth. It's like following like Rachel or Armand or something, but even them going across so many laps of a race, they break down. And where me and Katy go out and we're just like, we want the position. We're
Complete opposite.
I don't care about the battery. I'm going to go and I'm going to get first place. And if I wound up in first place many times during these races, I never finished them, but I wound up in first place.
Well, the funny thing is I was balls to the wall
the whole time.
the whole time.
You're just that smooth. I love it.
Well, maybe it was total accident. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a lot of luck there. I can't really say what it was.
All right. So,
So
he's
to
gonna,
answer your question, I don't know. Luck.
yeah, luck.
Luck.
All right. He's going to keep it as luck, but I know there's a secret in there somewhere. I know there is. But so even like on the aggressive driving style, like I mean, Katy, you drive like I do. We had similar lap times qualifying, and then we get in the race and we'd race each other and pit each other into walls and have all the fun in the world.
No
But
yellow flags with us.
no yellow flags with us. They actually stopped calling yellow flags with us. They just said let them, because it is
We're
true
gonna
though.
get back to each other eventually.
It's very true. But like if I accidentally pit you into a wall, I'm gonna give that spot back. Like, and then same with you.
Right.
And then the last lap, it seemed like always with you. The last two laps, it did not matter.
Screw it.
We were not polite at all at that point. I remember hitting the back of turn 5 so hard one time, I thought my brain was on the steering wheel. Like,
All is fair in love and war.
it's so true.
In karting.
And karting. I mean, you remember that they called us for like a race, and then they just quit. They were just like, nope, we're gonna let that go. But even you wind up like we were commenting on the one race, and you qualified last, and I go, that's not
I
gonna
do
last
that
long.
pretty often.
Right, and then you work your way up. Is it just taking advantage of like the mistakes of the drivers in front of you?
At
or is it-
100%. When we showed up here, we did arrive and drives. We did like 6 races one day. It was we have to work on our passing game.
Yeah.
And it was like they would pull us out first and we'd pull over and let everybody else go, and I have to bank on your mistakes to get through.
It makes a really good driver. I mean, I've worked with some different drivers that have a tough time when they're getting bumped from behind. They lose sight of what they're doing if someone's bumping them. And I'm always like, whatever's happening behind you, to your mindset, PJ, is that they're trying to get by you. That's not your problem.
No.
Don't even worry about it.
No,
Actually,
not my problem
put
at
your
all.
I
cart
am
in front of
their
theirs
problem.
and
Yep.
let them bump you faster,
Yep.
and it works out.
Well,
But,
like I said, pusher right there. So,
yeah. Yeah,
you know.
and I mean, so the other thing is I wanted to definitely ask you guys about was, do you guys work together during the races? Is there like some sort of game plan going into it if you qualify well, or is it just
Nope.
all is fair in love and war?
Yep.
You guys are,
Well,
there's no family ties once you get on the
No.
racetrack.
No. Nope.
I never let her win in anything. She's
Yeah.
gonna earn it.
I love it.
Bottom line, she's
I love
gonna
it.
earn it. So therefore, when she does beat me, good for her. I'm happy for her.
Right.
But she's gonna earn it. You
Yeah.
know, during qualifying, if I know, even if it's not her, if there's somebody, I'm gonna let them. That's qualifying. But during the race, no. You know.
Yeah, and
When we walk through the door, we get in them carts. It's
There's no
over.
father-daughter
No,
anymore.
it's over.
I love it. When
I'll put her in the wall just as quick as I would anybody else. So.
And he
It's-
has.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen, that's why I wondered, is because like if you watch the races back, like you guys definitely get into it, but then there's times where it's the similar philosophy. Like when I raced with you guys, was that we're gonna work with each other to get to the front of the pack. So many times I watch these young guys, young girls racing. they will work in the position-based race. They're all out for getting to the front, but they're going to take everybody out on their way. And if, like, let's say Marshall's in first place and Marshall's starting to run away with it, you and I and us three know we have to work together. Like, you'll see me going like this, saying, let's all work together so we can get back up there, and then let's fight it out. But you lose so much momentum that way. And I try to tell people all the time, and we comment on the races. I'm like, why are they all fighting each other? Like, you guys should be working together to keep the pack up. But mid-pack's always been so fun. But that's cool to see that, make her work for it. I love it. I've certainly never given you anything for free.
She learned at a young age because, like I said, we were both ball players, and when she played ball, I was her coach. And she knew when we got out of the car, it wasn't father-daughter. It was player-coach.
Yeah.
And, and that's the way it's always been,
It's one of my favorite parts of racing. As soon as you put on a helmet, you can be anybody. You can be a guy, girl, however old you are. It doesn't matter who you are when you walked into the door. As soon as you put that helmet on, you're a competitor. Like, we can all be friends in that, but as soon as you put the helmet on, it's a different world.
No, I want her to do well. Obviously, I want her to do well, maybe, hundredths of a second slower.
I was going to say a little bit less than you. A little bit.
But, hey.
Yeah, that's
when
awesome.
She does, like I said, I'm happy for her. She's my favorite racer here, so
yeah,
I root for her.
I mean, so in the last race, like, you qualified super well. Katy, you were down towards
dead last yet again.
Yeah, but then by the end of the race, you two were kind of. I think PJ actually finished. I don't remember. Fourth?
I finished fourth. Yeah.
Fourth last time. Yeah, and then
I think I finished right behind you.
Yeah. So it's.
But there was. I said it's. When you get here and you see who's here, whether it's going to be a tough night or, and it's always going to be a tough night. There's a lot of good races here.
I'd say tonight will be a tough night.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's the competitiveness and the racers and everybody that works here it's outstanding. I could
Clearly,
see myself.
we keep coming back.
Yes.
Right.
Twice a month we're here.
At least.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys, so, we spoke about it, we're, like, starting at the beginning, 85 races, or 85 laps all the way through, one run of the karts, and then to where we're at now with Competition Karting and the Endurance Series, running the 12 hours and stuff. You guys have seen the entire evolution of that, which is really cool because it's attracted more and more people. The races, we used to run 2 races, the early afternoon and the late afternoon race. Yeah. And then now we run 1 race, but we're looking to go possibly back to 2 races again because we fill up so fast. Yeah. And if you come and race, and that's another reason we opened up the in the rookie series for it, is to get the younger kids and more or less experienced people involved in it to learn from us that have been doing it for a while. Yes. And I will be the first to say, like, we're all competitive here, but you can walk up to Katy PJ anytime and ask them, hey, what am I doing wrong here? And we all try to help that. And I've seen you guys do that.
We do that after a race anyway. Tonight, we'll finish and we'll go, I couldn't take that turn right, or I'm still working on that turn. Or,
yeah. It's funny how it's turned into like its own little community.
I'll go back and watch the race.
Do you?
Oh, okay. Yes. I've watched everyone.
We'll go home tonight and rewatch the race.
I try to see, I'm still trying to learn. I'm learning, if I can get behind somebody faster and learn their line, I'm always willing to learn. When you become willing to learn, then you're done.
Love it, love it. So this year will be the second time you guys have competed in the 12 hours, and I know I was involved in part of that 12 hours. Don't punch me.
Sit on your hands.
But you guys made it in by the skin of your teeth. You were the first alternate, so we had an extra team.
I was so sick to my stomach.
So tell me how did that happen? I figured as we were watching the screen up here, I was waiting for you guys to be first.
I have such a broken heart.
Really?
We have a full sponsor from the get-go, and we had somebody else pay the down payment, and he had technical difficulties, and that 5 minutes is what cost us.
Yep, it filled up really fast this year. Really fast.
When you texted me and said, "Did you get in?" and I realized what time it was, my heart just sank because I know we didn't make it. But I was like, we have the money. We're ready to go. We have a team. Oh, it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys got in that extra, and that's why I always tell people, I'm like, sign up as an alternate. You don't know. You still have a couple weeks to finalize your team in that. And then if we have a team drop out or something happens, that being said, how are you guys preparing for 12 hours? I've heard other teams are running multiple karts and taking notes. Other teams are just running races, practicing. It seems like pit stops were won and lost last year in the pits. So, what are you guys doing to prepare?
Well, penalties is going to be hard for us because we didn't get any last year, so we're not going to know how that's really going to affect us. But it did because we finished in in third place because we didn't have any penalties. So
The only team not to.
Well, we actually had a couple of carts die on the track, which probably hurt us the most. So we left a couple of carts out a little too long. So
beginning of the race.
That will kill you.
Yeah, if you watch the 12 hours back, beginning of the race, it seems like there were a lot of teams that were like, okay, how bad is this penalty going to be for our team? And they ran the cart till the end, and they found out really quick going 3 laps down really quickly is a really bad way to start a race. So besides that, though, I mean, so you learned that lesson from last year. It seems like a lot of the competitors this year are either really fast or really experienced. And I say that because I know that the Felbers are racing this year. They have their own team, and they're really fast, but they haven't run the 12 hours yet.
Experience.
But
then they have a good blend, so...
Right, and they pulled Marshall onto the team, so Marshall, and then this is all hearsay at this point, but from what I've heard so far, it's just the 3 of them. So it'll be Cash, Roman, and Marshall, so you've got the 3 really fast people. Marshall's got the experience from last year coming off the winning team, so that should help them, but...
was Marshall part of that team last year?
Marshall was on
Sonic.
Supersonic last year. Yeah, Team Excel, we called them upstairs.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's 3 people. That can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Just look at the Nanomakers. Those poor guys made me so tired.
I'm glad to see they got a 3rd guy this year.
100%.
They did. Yeah. I was secretly rooting for them in my head. Now, not the way I called
I
a
was
race,
too
but
for a minute, but then when I realized they were the spot behind us and we kept flipping...
Yeah, we quit rooting for them.
I quit rooting for them.
they were very
Sorry.
consistent. They were so consistent, though, and they lost it because of that one penalty they got. They were in 3rd place for so long, and then they dropped it because of that. So one penalty goes so far, but it's crazy to see how different people are preparing for it. So
well, we're just coming out, and we run our endurance race, and we get out, we take notes. Of course, carts are going to change, but we are taking notes on certain carts. We're watching, so
we're watching other drivers.
We are
as
paying
well.
attention.
yeah.
So that's got to be part of it.
I've always said that the carts either have a little bit more top end or they handle a little bit better. So even if, like you said, the carts will change between here and now, you try to get them as close as humanly possible to all of them are very similar. But if you know from driving a better handling cart that I have to drive this style, or a faster cart I have to drive this style, as soon as you get into it, doesn't matter what cart it is, you drive it 2 laps and you're like, okay, I have to drive this line or this style, and it'll help you out. But it's a position-based 12-hour race, so it's all out.
A lot can happen.
Everything happens.
Right.
Everything happens.
A lot can happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you guys know who's on your team potentially, or you guys?
We are locked in.
We're
100%.
locked in. Yes,
we are
sir.
waiting for March 15th.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
We're just waiting for the day.
So who's on your team?
So the 2 of us, we have Corey Ricker, who was also on our team last year.
Yep.
And then we roped in my cousin Tyler, and then his friend Alan.
Awesome. Okay. So that'll be a good team.
So we
That'll
at
be a
least
great
have
team.
3 returnings from the 12-hour.
Yeah. And goals for this year equal or better finish than last year?
100%.
Yeah. Awesome.
If your goal isn't to win, then
We at least want to be on that podium.
It's going to be, I think
it's going to be an uphill climb without a doubt.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think we might be able to surprise.
I agree. You guys have always surprised us. You two, and it's like you said, you're one of the older guys here, but you run, top of the pack. You're consistent in the endurance series. You've done phenomenal. Both of you have, and I think consistency is going to win this race. I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be a fast race. There's going to be fast times, but I think overall consistency is going to win. So you guys have a really, really good shot at that because you are very consistent. So it's awesome to see. Any suggestions, anything you guys would do different from a racer's perspective in the 12 hours or in the endurance series?
We talk about this all the dang time.
Okay.
But
Well, I think with the better batteries and the new screens that are on the carts, we'll be able to, like I said, we had a couple of carts die on the track.
we'll be able to monitor that better.
Yeah, you can't let that happen. It's going to kill you. Penalties, like I said, we didn't experience any last year. Our pit stops were on the money. So those are the key. Those are the key. Pay attention, see who's driving what carts and which ones may be faster.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay
yeah.
attention.
And we give that battery data on all the carts,
Yes.
so you can see your competitors'
That's exactly
carts as
right.
well.
Yes.
Who's running
Right.
so close and whatever. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we called that dipping back in the day.
Yeah.
You can dip in on somebody else's information. So, you know, it's
All is
racing.
fair.
It's racing.
Racing.
It's racing. Yeah, we have
We're all out for the same thing.
yeah, first place. And yeah, I think it'll be a good race. I think it'll be a good race.
I'm
So
excited.
I can't wait to
Oh,
watch
I'm
you guys
so
race.
excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more
can't
excited
wait.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because we have an idea what to expect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Last
it
year
was,
we were
it
walking
was
the block,
such
yeah.
a good time. You know, you might think, oh, 12 hours, I can pop in and you know, go do whatever I need to do throughout the day. Once you're here,
You don't wanna
wanna leave.
Because that was my plan.
Yeah,
But I didn't
you
wanna
don't-
leave.
You don't want to leave. There's just, it's
There's
12
too much
hours, it's a long,
adrenaline.
but there's so much action going on. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Keep your
Yeah.
eyes open, folks.
Watching
It'll
your
be a
team,
good
someone
race.
else's team, it was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool. Like this year, taking that from like I don't know, the way that we run it perspective is like the onboard cameras and stuff like that we've added this year. And me and James were talking about it the other day when we built the new pit lane. There's a lot of changes between last year and this year. The race is the same, but there's a lot of changes to make everything that much better, that
Yes.
much more competitive.
Yes.
There's no cones to hit now type thing for the
And that pit lane is going to be so much safer,
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
less,
the pit lane.
less anxiety trying to hit pit.
Yeah, it is in a good spot, and there's a lot of runoff.
I don't
to
have
it
to worry
too.
about getting creamed as I'm trying to enter pit.
Yeah, so stuff like that's been buttoned up on our end, but it's really, I think it's only better for the racers because you guys will be able to race better. And so any changes in strategy this year besides watching penalties, stuff like that, drivers, you know, who's starting, who's finishing, anything
We
like
haven't got down to that.
that? Okay.
You
Okay,
know,
we still got to get 2 drivers in here and get their.
yeah, they need
Get their qualifying times and
Right.
everything. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, they both
They're
raced here
rusty.
before. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You don't think it's, but racing even for 30 minutes, it's physical.
That
Yeah.
race last week.
If you think it's
that
easy,
hurt.
come out and try it. Left
Rookie
turn,
series,
right
come
turn,
try
left
it,
turn,
please.
right turn.
Because you think, how hard is this? But when you're leaning, that gets exhausting.
Plus the mental side of it. I mean, the
I
mental
have to
side of
listen
it's
to
crazy.
music because I get too much in my head, and then I start driving, get me off the track. 'cause
You're the
I'm-
second person to say that has to listen to music to do it.
Well, clearly I'm not listening to the right music because Mr. Marshall.
There's no music going on, just lots of conversations. I don't know who's all in there, but you know.
Yeah, makes you go faster if you're running
Yeah,
away from yourself.
There you go. That's it. That might be it. That
Awesome.
might be it.
Well, we can't wait to see you guys race. Thanks for taking the time to talk
Hey,
to me, and we'll be sure to follow up, see how it all progresses, and catch you guys during the races and that. So, one final thing is, who would you like me to interview next?
Well, I would say, Armin.
Yeah.
Armin's, he's a figure here. You'll find him here all the time. League races, any league races. He's fast. I hear he's from France or something. So,
He is, yeah. Yep.
I'd like to hear a little more about, good guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about him.
He was referred to as the bald guy on the
Yeah.
stream last year, and everyone was asking, "Who's the bald guy? Who's the bald guy?" And yeah, he's very fast. So, all right,
The
well,
ghost.
He is
we have
the
the
ghost.
We have the bull.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, PJ and Katy, and I am Jayson. I'm going to talk to you guys soon. We'll get Armand up here in the next one, and be sure to check out the stream. 12 hours coming up. Make sure you follow Competition Karting on YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe. It does help. Leave the comments if you guys want us. If you want to get to know anyone else, let me know. We'll interview them and get a little backstory on where they come from, why they race here, and a little bit about their life. With that, though, have a great day, and I am signing off from Competition Karting. I'm Jayson. See you guys.